I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 149 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, make sure you head over to SZN Pod or SZN Podcast as our Instagram and Twitter pages. Link in the bio of both of those pages there, which will take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise. So if you like audio, you've got the usual Spotify links and Apple Podcast links. And then visuals, YouTube channel is also up and running. Make sure you guys head over, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Flowz, another week, a lot to get to.
Yeah.
It's no waste time.
We'll be starting.
We'll start at home, obviously. We'll start at home. The big card of the week over here at home was really, I'll probably say, the Savannah Marshall versus FCD card. That's for undisputed title. Let's dive straight into it. A win for Savannah Marshall. Congrats to her. She's now undisputed at super middleweight. I think this is her first time at the weight. And to me, Flowz, I think she handled herself pretty well, pretty reasonably. For me, it was a fairly comfortable win. The fight was a bit scrappy, which we'll delve into as to why. But overall, I felt like she was the class there. Shout out to FCD. Big heart, big engine. I expected that from her. But for me, Flowz, on this one, I think FCD, it was apparent she clocked from early that she wasn't going to be able to outbox Savannah Marshall. That Savannah Marshall's the class in there, which made her, I feel like, her tactic went straight away, obviously, realizing that she can't outbox Savannah Marshall. There's no way she can beat her boxing-wise. Cool. Let me just turn this into a gritty, scrappy, ugly fight, which is why the fight ended up being scrappy. I think that's fair to say, Flowz. And despite her doing that, because to be honest, it's the right tactic. She's never going to be able to outbox Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall's better, hits harder, all that kind of stuff. So it's the right tactic. Yeah. But despite that, Flowz, there's an art to making the fight ugly and all that kind of stuff and still being effective. And even though she did land and she would sometimes land to the body and whatnot, that scrappy style of, rushing in and head down and sort of holding and whatnot, it was stopping her own work from getting done, really, really and truly at the same time. She was smothering her own work. And despite her turning it ugly and scrappy, Savannah Marshall was still able to land the better shots throughout the entire, was 10 rounder? Yeah, from round 1 to 10. Yeah. She was still able to land the better, cleaner, more effective shots, despite the fight being ugly. And that's why, to me, Flowz, it was comfortable for Savannah. Like, I didn't find her in trouble in one bit. I'll be so real. I thought it was quite, not a breeze, but she didn't have to get out of third gear for fourth gear, should I say.
Yeah, I agree. I think FCD made it very uncomfortable. I'll say that for Savannah. And just with her tying up, leaning in, smothering everything. So, even when the scorecards were read out, Savannah didn't look too confident because it was such a messy fight. Like, she didn't seem, and I think she even said afterwards, because it was so messy and FCD would come in and be throwing punches in the clinches and whatnot, making it ugly, rough. She was always there. And she probably weighs a bit more than Savannah. First time Savannah's at the weight. Leaning on her, trying to maul her, all of this, making it difficult for anything clean to be apparent. So, even like early on, I was like, this is actually difficult to score, even though Savannah's landing the cleaner work, just because FCD is moving forward and being rough and ugly and not giving you a chance to score the fight. This is literally what she was doing. She wasn't giving you a chance to score, because it's 2-minute rounds, and when you're making it ugly for 2 minutes, you have no work to say, okay, there's little work for you to say, okay, this is good work, because it's just messy. So I think fair play to her. It was probably her best tactic, because skill wise, there was a gap. You could see there was a gap skill wise. So her best chance, like you say, was to make it ugly and lean in. So while she didn't give Savannah trouble in terms of, Savannah might be losing this, she wasn't allowing Savannah to run away with it in terms of beat her up and piece her up. And So yeah, I think it was that.
It's interesting as well, though, because there's many times where a couple times in the fight where you're thinking, okay, Savannah could potentially stop this girl. I say that because from the fourth round, FCD looked shattered to me. I think I commented in our group chat.
Her mouth was open.
I said she shattered, and then obviously there was times when Savannah was actually able to land some big shots, and it looked like it had FCD teetering. But if one thing about her, obviously I knew she had an engine and heart and dog, but every time Savannah would land a big shot, FCD would just grab her real quick, just grab her real quick, and stop her from doing anything else.
She'll go straight forward,
straight forward, and stop completely nullify Sav and her work. Which I guess brings me to the main critique I have about Savannah's performance. Like I said, I felt like she clearly won the fight, no issues there. But I was saying that I felt like she's allowing FCD to step into her way too easy, as in her distance control, her judgment distance wasn't good enough for me. From down to the footwork to her utilization of a jab. Because whenever she was at range, you could see how more comfortable she looked and how easy it was for her to pick off FCD and land some clean shots. But FCD was having a way in terms of just getting to her chest and then mauling or hugging her or, clinching with her and then forcing her down and that kind of stuff and just making it ugly. I feel like for Savannah had to be more authoritative with her jab and with her footwork. Even the commentator finally picked up on it and said, she needs to step back when she throws a shot, step back with it, stop that gap, because that gap was so easy to close for FCD. And she was having her way with that all night. So I think Savannah's distance control could have been better yesterday for sure.
Yeah, she kept, when FCD would step in, she would want to step in and think they're going to trade.
Yeah.
But FCD had an interest in trading. To smother.
Yeah, exactly.
So like Savannah would step in so she could like land the big shots. But you need to, like you say, you need to step back and use the jab, use the footwork, and then land the right hands from mid-range, not try and step into it. So step back, jab, 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 boom. Let her walk onto the right hand, not try to step in and trade with her.
If you notice, she would step in, Flowz, and make herself low, as in smaller. Yeah. But she would crouch in. And that's not your game. So we know that's not going to be her game. So, that's the one.
That's what made it ugly. They'll both step in and it's not like they're stepping in to bang with each other because FCG stepping into smother. So she goes just lays on top of her and smothers whatever works Savannah's trying to do. So just stepping back and using that footwork, jabbing, the best punch in the game.
Yeah.
But like you say, she won it for me quite comfortably if you're scoring round by round.
Yeah. And I want to say hats off to FCD for sticking out in, like I said, shattered from round 4, but didn't, one point it looked like she could potentially go, but ground out there and just brought a lot of dog and heart. So fair play to her. Flowz, what did you make of singing the anthem before the fight? I thought she was better. She was better than the English singer, that's for sure.
But I thought it was a bit strange because I was thinking, the anthem is one where you do a lot of riffs and vocal gymnastics.
It's a very difficult anthem to sing. Let's be real.
You don't lose your breath before a fight. I thought it was a bit of a strange move.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get in the zone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it put some Americans in the zone singing their anthem.
I mean,
but
a certain person at ringside, Flowz, was singing with her heart. And that certain person, obviously being Clarissa Shields, Flowz, I must say, man, she's actually a hater. Obviously, I know she gets hated on, but when it comes to Savannah Marshall, she hates this girl. She's there screaming all like you can hear her all night screaming instructions to FCD. They came to her, she was like, they said, after 3 rounds, how you score? She's like, it's 3-0 FCD. She was so confident. She said, easy 3-0 FCD, blah, blah. I thought to myself, come on, Carissa. I know you don't like this girl, but let's be genuine here, please. Come on now. Come on. It's so funny because you would think that after beating someone, I mean, to some people it was a beat down, Flowz. There'll be no more animosity. But Clarissa, it's like she hates her even more. It's crazy. The beef isn't dying. And I don't even think Savannah even dislikes Clarissa Shields. I think she enjoys getting under her skin because she knows she can get under her skin and wind her up. And naturally, obviously, that's what's being shopped. The undisputed But this time, obviously, Carissa can come up to 168 and challenge. Yeah. Are you for the idea of that rematch, Flowz, or not so much at the moment?
I mean, like I say, this is the biggest fight out there for both of them at this point, really. Like you say, the first fight for me wasn't close. I thought 8-2 Clarissa. I had 8-2 Clarissa.
Nice.
I can see 7-3, but anything other than that, like personally, it was even annoying me when it was like, oh yeah, credit to Savannah for making it a great fight. So man, you lost. Well, that 50-50 talks out the window for what? So I think if they fight and run it back, Clarissa wins.
Even at 168?
Even at 168. The only factor is I don't think Savannah employed the right game plan.
She didn't. Yeah, she didn't.
That fight. So I think she could fight a different style where, okay, maybe then it's intriguing.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, the amateur fight that Savannah won, she didn't win. She lost that. Yeah. And the last fight that was supposedly close, it wasn't close. She lost that. So right now, the beef, it's not really beef for Clarissa, but she might as well go up there and grab that belt.
Yeah. It's more legacy for her, right? So she take it and she gets a chance at achieving legacy and beating the woman that she doesn't like the most. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't want the fight to happen next, though, Flowz.
Yeah. You wanted to
because of the fact that now that she's at 168, so Savannah has a mandatory that she needs to fight. Undefeated woman called Shadesha Green. She's American, New Jersey. Who is also good, I would say. I've seen her fight before. Undefeated, powerhouse. She's knocked out all but one of her opponents. Savannah actually did mention it in the post-fight, like, oh yeah, I know that she's been waiting a long time. She also deserves her shot. And apparently she's been guaranteed that, well, she's meant to be next. I'm happy to see that fight first. And then obviously Savannah wins. That's obviously more build-up for the Carissa thing to happen over in America. But that Shadesha Green fight does interest me because it's two powerhouses. Savannah, we know, knocks out most of her opponents. Shadesha's also got even higher knockout ratio than Savannah. That should be a good fight on paper. So I want to see that next for Savannah. Get that mandatory out the way. Then in America, her and Carissa can get it on at 168. I think that's what I would like to do if possible. That would be my preferred route. Not just we don't need to go straight into the Carissa Shield fight now. We don't need it now. We can let it build up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't mind. There's not that many opponents in the women's divisions, so it's the big fights we want to see, the big matchups. So, and they can move up and down really. Like, so Clarissa wants all the smoke with anyone. I've seen her beef Natasha Jonas. Yeah, beef Christina beef every. So she's beating everyone in front of her.
You hear her comments about Tasha Jonas?
What did she say?
After Tasha's fight, which we'll discuss briefly in a sec, they asked her, "Oh yeah, you know, would you be interested in fighting Tasha?" And Carissa was like, "If she fights like that, I'm going to destroy her." I said, She said, "Both, I was smoking Tasha as well." I said, "Rah." So yeah, Clarissa wants beef with everyone, so she's happy to fight anyone.
She's on it. So yeah, whenever it happens, like, look, they don't even know, so it can happen. Yeah, and then we know there's no waiting around with them. They'll make it happen. Yeah, and it will happen. So, I have no issues whether it's next, whether it's not next. Yeah, they'll get on, I'm sure. Cool. Congrats to Savannah Marshall. Undisputed. Another undisputed. Hats off. We look forward to the next move. Mentioned Tasha Jonas. We might as well talk about her now, Flowz. She's on chief support in the evening. No, not chief support in the evening. I think, what? I don't know. Her and Ben Whitaker, I guess. But Tasha Jonas, very impressive win. Collected another belt. Which weight class is it, Flowz? Is she in? Is she in middleweight? Light mid. Is it light middle? Yeah, because Clarissa's undisputed middle. Yeah, so it's literally light middle. Yeah, I think it's light middle. Light middle. Yeah. This fight could have been. The opponent was it Wyatt? I think the woman's name was it Wyatt? Yeah. I mean, this was a mismatch from the first bell, Flowz. She almost ended it in round one. Ref could have jumped in round one. It was a complete mismatch. Tasha Jonas just too cute, too quick, just much better boxer. It was a complete mismatch, and eventually she got the stoppage, which she deserved. Probably could have been stopped earlier, as we said, Flowz.
Another belt added to her collection. You know, Tasha, she's dope, man. She's having like a nice little career, you know, resurgence. Well, I say resurgence, Indian summer. As she's gotten older, she's got better. So shout out to her, man. And I wouldn't mind her fighting Clarissa either. I'll be so real.
Mm-hmm.
I like that fight too. So shout out to Tasha Jonas.
She loses though.
Yeah, she loses, but it's good for her in terms of payday and whatnot, and maybe a chance at greatness. That'd be good for her.
Yeah, I guess there's limited fights there. I'm still like to see against Terry Harper again. If it's a payday with Clarissa Shields, yeah, I think that one needs to be run back at some point.
Yeah.
But I guess now she's like a champion, she can kind of flex a bit. So, yeah, she can fight Clarissa Shields if she gets paid from it. She's older. She's like 40.
She's getting better. She's getting older. It's mad.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoy. The ref was itching to stop that fight. The stoppage was kind of silly, to be honest. But she was piecing Shorty up from the first round. It could have been stopped in moments.
Yeah,
but for me, it's not competitive with Clarissa Shields, so I'd rather see the Terry Harper fight. But if she gets paid, if she gets more paid for fighting Clarissa Shields, then I'm happy for her to get paid. But I think Terry Harper might be a bit more competitive. I think Clarissa Shields smokes.
No, I think Clarissa. It's not a contest really, but yeah. Bad stoppages. Can kind of mention Ben Whittaker, I guess, Flowz.
Let's talk about him.
Let's talk about Ben Whittaker quickly. He's entertaining. We know what he's like. He's dancing in round one, that kind of stuff. Clearly better than his Polish opponent. I think it's probably, I can't remember his name, but his opponent was overmatched from the first bell again. Some question marks though, Flowz, because he was teeing off on this guy the whole night at will. And I think at one point he did have him in trouble, but he wasn't able to get him out there. This was quite early on. I think this was maybe round 2 or round 3. But then you're then thinking, okay, let's wrap this up. And I don't want to say it was a ponderous performance, but the fact that he's hitting this guy at will the whole night, and this guy, I can't lie, it wasn't looking like he was going to be moved. You're there thinking, how powerful is Ben Whittaker? Has he got power in his hands or not? And it's funny because really you'll see the result and you'll see that the referee stopped it. But let's keep it a buck, Flowz. That didn't have to be stopped at all. The referee was itching to just get in there and pad his record with a KO. The guy wasn't seriously hurt, and it was final round as well, wasn't it, Flowz? There was a couple seconds left, which the referee could have let him see out the rest of the round. But obviously there was, I reckon itching to jump in and inflate that KO record. Do you think these question marks over his power are right to be had?
In the sense that I think there's going to be question marks on Ben Whittaker if early on and you're not stopping. Well, he's so lucky that they busted. Very lucky. Bro, his record, it will say
the referee jumped, itched, bro. That wasn't a stoppage.
What we said last episode, where it was like, whether it's the hometown fair, the referee can always bust you. The referee busted the KO. For Ben Whittaker's debut, I was like, the whole dancing and taunting against soup cans, it's crazy to me. But I've learned to embrace it from him at the pro rank, because it's the pro ranks. I've learned to embrace it. Look, he's an entertainer. He's going to entertain. He's going to dance, and he's got the skills. He really does have the skills.
He is actually skillful. Yeah.
He's got the skills. Now, when you're teeing off on a guy who's been hurt and rocked, and he's taking your shots, he's surviving, then there's going to be question marks on your power. But really and truly, if you've got the skills, then it's boxing at the end of the day. It's boxing. So if you can outbox anyone at a high level, then you're fine. You're good.
Skills.
You obviously need power to make people back up and make them think and wobble them and hurt them. But this guy kind of looked ready to go at certain points. He's nearly down in the first round. Or was he down in the first round?
Was it?
He had him back against somebody.
No, I think he had him hurt in the first round. I think severely hurt, but he never. There's another round. There's another round where he had him hurt as well, or he might have dropped him in the other round. But he didn't. Afterwards, after that early
Yeah.
promise, it never really looked like he was going to stop him at all. And
Yeah,
maybe
when
he
you're
took his foot in the
outclassed or
gas.
something.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I think he took one round off, but
Yeah.
I think from the third or fourth, it was like, okay, now get him out of their bed. Like you've scored him, you've pieced him up.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So we can credit this other guy. Maybe I don't know what his record is. Maybe he's never been stopped. Maybe he's durable. But
maybe.
at the same time, you're thinking this is Ben Whitaker's fourth fight. You're not in trouble. You're teeing off on him. You're landing, but he's still there.
Yeah.
And what's this? Light heavies, where we know there's some powerhouses in that division.
Facts. Yeah.
And people like to give question marks, especially on someone with so much hype and almost polarizing in his behavior in the ring.
You saw the fans were quick to get onto him. Oh, he's trash. He's boring. This, that. You know how
make it at top level.
You know how casual fans are incredibly fickle in this sport. So yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's okay to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Now it's on him to answer them.
Yeah,
it's on him.
You rather these questions happen now.
Yeah,
as in against the soup cans, as opposed to when he's fighting the real deal guys. So yeah, I mean, he's again 4 fights in. He's still got plenty of time to grow and figure out this program. So yeah, I'm not killing him at all, really. To be honest, to me, it's not an issue. It's just the reaction I was seeing from the fans, which made me laugh a little bit. I was like, damn, already? But that's how it is with the casuals.
Yeah, that's
how
fine.
it is.
Not everyone's gonna have power. If you've got the skills, like his skills are there.
Yeah, for sure.
The jabs, the punch selection, the defense, cocky with it, the reflexes.
And his just size and build as well is really good for the division. Really good for the really good reach, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I like him. And he's been the same from the amateur days. In amateurs, he was doing the whole dancing thing as well. So it's not like he's just downloaded this. I think it's just him. So yeah, continue what you're doing, Ben. And as we see him progress, he should sharpen up. In the UK as well, Flowz, just worth mentioning as well. We've got a potential knockout of the year candidate with Dalton. So I don't know if you saw that, Flowz. Dalton Smith stopping his opponent Maxwell. Dirty KO. You see the way my man's leg just folded him. I swear he was on our prospect list, Dalton Smith. In fact, I think he was. Definitely, yeah. He's one to watch at light welterweight. That division, bro. Bro. It's serious. But from a British standpoint, he's one to watch for sure.
And Bazim's in that division as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's tasty. It's tasty.
Division 140 or something.
Yeah. Good win for Dalton. Keep doing what you're doing. He's moving along nicely. Liking what I'm seeing from him. Good fighter. Definitely a good fighter to look out for as well. America. Big Baby Anderson. Charles Martin. This was actually a good fight, Flowz. Charles Martin was a late replacement. It was meant to be. Do you remember who it was meant to? I can't remember who it was meant to be. Who was meant to be fighting? Yeah.
Was it Lewis Harris?
It might have been Iris. No, it wasn't Iris. But I remember Charles Martin took it late notice.
Yeah.
But that's a great replacement, Flowz, because Charles Martin is experienced, ex-world champion, been in there with some of the best. And it showed to me, Flowz, in terms of this was definitely Big Baby Anderson's toughest fight to date. I mean, easy to say that when he was his first fight that went the distance. He's knocked out all his previous opponents until Charles Martin. But one thing that you always want to see from someone, who's highly rated, that's been blown away with his opponents, what's going to happen when they get touched on their chin?
Yeah.
And Charles Martin actually touched Big Baby Anderson a couple times last night on the chin. He got his chin checked and he came through it. So fair play to Big Baby Anderson, because he won the fight clearly to me. It was quite clear that, hometown crowd as well in Toledo, Ohio. He dropped Charles Martin in the third round and was landing the bigger and better shots the whole night. But Charles Martin was really good work for him, because not only was, obviously, he had to show that experience, but Charles Martin is actually pretty decent, people calling him after the whole AJ thing, but he's actually a decent boxer. Yeah. He's a lot better than people give him credit for.
Yeah. Charles Martin, what he has, he's improved since the AJ fight.
Massively, yeah.
He's definitely improved, and he deserves some credit for that. That AJ fight, while he was champion, think he fought anyone of note at that point.
No, he hadn't.
So since then, he's come on in terms of experience. He's come on in terms of position. He's someone who he's probably his boxing brain works better than his ability.
100%.
Poorly imagine like someone who,
but Flowz, you can see it when you watch him. He's actually got a really good boxing brain.
Yeah. And I think that's come on through his experience.
Yeah.
He's 36, 37 now.
Yeah.
And the level of opposition he's faced, he's able to try and do stuff, triple up on the jab, move on the back foot, try and counter.
Circling constantly circling away from Anderson's power hand to make it a bit more difficult. Good counter shots as well with the jab, all that kind of stuff, and the counter left. He's like, I'm watching him thinking, you've come so far, Charles. Fair play to you.
If you had the body to execute or the skills to execute what you're doing, then you'd. But we spoke about Jermell Anderson. I can't remember his last fight, but maybe it was his last fight before, where we talked about, look, he was getting caught with some bombs. The
Cuban guy, the Cuban brother.
Yeah.
Listeners,
go back and listen. Whenever his last fight was, we were saying, look, he was getting caught. He needs to tighten up on that defense because why he got him out of there, but he was landing. And it's like, I think we said he can't afford to be doing that once you step up. Granted, this is a step up. And he won majority of the rounds. He got tested. I think he was buzzed as opposed to hurt or wobbled, or he got caught with a good shot. A few times
buzzed, but then obviously you saw the end of the 10th when the last 10 seconds where his leg stiff, did the little wobbly dance, and then obviously it was like 10 seconds to go. So Charles Martin, it was too little, too late, but he might have hurt him there. I feel like he was hurt there, but he dropped Charles Martin in the third. Yes.
After switching to southpaw.
Yes.
I'm liking some of the fundamentals I see offensively, his shot selection, his ability to switch, his footwork while he's in. When he's not attacking, it's actually quite okay in terms of he tries to move back, but he moves back in straight lines. So his footwork can improve. He can cut off the ring better. He can move back, not straight back. He can pivot to the sides and whatnot a bit better. But he switched to southpaw, dropped Charles Martin. He has that in his lockup. But the fifth round, he was getting buzzed and whatnot. And I think he was like, I'm in danger. I need to try and survive. But he was still aware. He was still putting his guard up. He was still trying to clinch. He was still trying to maneuver, throw at points. But I think it was his first time in that situation. So he was getting, trying to find out how to react to in that spot. So I think it's a good learning fight for him. I don't think any statement was made. In fact, I think it shows you're still too green to step up. It shows
he's still green. I think he showed me minerals in terms of he can look decent under adversity, which is good.
Yeah.
Look, I feel like the Americans have every right to be excited about this kid. He is talented for sure.
Yeah.
He's athletic, explosive, stylish, all kind of stuff. But these fights are what's going to help him. And you see, he's fought Martin in his 15th fight. Remember how it took Wilder about 40 fights for him to fight someone actually decent for once. So this is really good for him. Learning curve. So more fights like this now at this level.
But I think last time, was it last fight as well? Where I think you pointed out like ESPN or Top Rank are pushing him more than Frank Sanchez.
Yes.
I know why I said Luis Harris. I'm bugging. It definitely was Luis Harris. But anyway.
I know why you said the Harris as well. Because anyways.
But what was I even saying? Frank Sanchez.
Sanchez I said more ahead. He's more ahead of him.
If they fought, Frank Sanchez would beat him, even though he's been pushed more, big baby. So while I think, look, he has time when he's 23. I also think he's definitely not ready for world level lot. He's not even ready for the level underneath them, or like the level underneath them, man, like the Hergoviches and.
He's called out Dylan White a bunch of times. Do you think he could take Dylan White?
Everyone should call out Dylan White. Everyone should call out. Everyone should. Well, after what was it?
Yeah, well, against Franklin.
Yeah, after what Franklin showed us, everyone should be.
Ooh, Franklin, big baby could be a fight.
That's a good fight.
Mm.
My thing with Anderson is I can't say how far he'll go. You know, I really can't.
Interesting.
One, I think he's small. While he has agility, like he looks athletic. He's very athletic.
Yeah.
He's more athletic than the
Quick
others
as well. Yeah, quick.
Yeah, I think his nimbleness, he's quick. But him not stopping Charles Martin slightly concerns me in terms of I think he has to load up on his power for his power to land. He has to load up really as opposed to having natural
one shot.
One hit, like he's got.
It's very interesting you say that because I have been seeing quite a bit of discourse saying that he should be campaigning at Bridgerweight.
Yeah,
and even some people even said he should go to cruiser. They reckon he cleans up cruiserweight. That's what I've seen a lot of discourse people saying.
I think his size pause is it's a bit too.
But at the same time, Flowz, you never know because obviously sometimes that speed can be a weapon, and that speed and explosiveness can be a weapon. But I hear what you say about the power thing. I don't think it's concussive one-shot power.
Yeah.
But it's explosiveness in terms of he will hit you with a barrage of punches that you might not be able to see. And it might not be as heavy as, say, a Wilder, but it's still heavy enough to, like, sting. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not... I don't think... I hear it, but for me, I'm happy with him staying at heavyweight. I just think he just needs to just obviously take his time with his development. It's still obviously the guys more opponents the caliber of Martin. That's what I mean. That he's going to learn so much more. And him not stopping Martin, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, obviously the way AJ stopped him was easy. But
Ortiz put him to sleep standing.
Yeah,
but these are heavy punches.
Wait, wasn't Martin giving Ortiz hell?
He dropped him twice.
Yeah, he was. I think he was giving Ortiz hell.
But we know what we think of Ortiz. We know what Ortiz is really and truly.
How do you get dropped twice by Frank Martin? No, that's. I mean, not Frank. Yeah. That's Frank Martin. Charles Martin. I'm bugging.
Look, I agree with you. What I can't say is that right now, if he steps up, I think he's in trouble. I think he can buy this time. I think the heavyweight division's trash, and the truth is with the heavyweight, not trash. That's what to say. They're dulling right now. They all want to cash out.
Yeah,
they're all moving nuts. They're not fighting. They're not active. The top guys, they're not active. They're all sitting on the sofa waiting for a payday. The heavyweight division is a division where everyone's vulnerable. That's the kind of beauty of the heavyweight division. All of them can touch canvas. All of them can beat each other. They've all shown vulnerabilities. I think he can bide his time and fight the right people for belts as opposed to the current crop. They won't be fighting in 2025. These man, the world class ones. It'll be the smaller ones. So I think he can take his time. My other concern is you saw he wants to get out of boxing early, right? He's been saying that he doesn't want to hang around in boxing. Yeah. I don't think his heart's fully in it. We saw
okay.
Did you see the Roy Jones Jr. speech with him?
I did. Yeah, I watched it actually. Yeah.
While it was obviously, you could feel like it's kind of special moment. But to me, I'm thinking, Brody don't really want to do this. He's not hungry. How hungry is he?
How hungry is he? Yeah. You have to be hungry. I can't lie. You have to be hungry. I can't lie.
He shows it in the ring, but outside the ring, when I'm hearing talking, that he doesn't love boxing. He doesn't want to hang around in boxing. He's crying. He's saying, "I'm 23. There's a lot of pressure on him."
Yeah.
One loss, you might be like, "Yeah, I'm out here." So I don't know what the outside of the ring pressure is making me have question marks.
And he's definitely going to get a lot of pressure because of the fact that now they're billing him as if the next great American hope. You know how big in America heavyweight boxing is? Like, it's serious over there. They're billing him as the next. I mean, he sold out his hometown. Fair play to him. Great crowd. The crowd was sick. Because of his style, he's going to get a lot of people, following him and stuff. That's a good thing to pick up. That's one thing to watch for sure. Whether he really does want it. How do you think he fares against Daniel Dubois?
You see, that's why I say the heavyweight division, they show vulnerabilities. We've seen Daniel Dubois touch the canvas.
We've seen Daniel Dubois show vulnerabilities.
But Daniel Dubois fought high opposition.
I'll probably favour Dubois at this point,
has more
But
experience. He's
there's
bigger.
not much in it because I think it's
Yeah.
just more of the experience. Because
They can both-
they're both quite similar in terms of they're both athletic, explosive,
Yeah,
quick, that kind of stuff. I'll probably say Big Baby's a bit more flashy, so switch here a bit more flamboyant. But yeah, they're both shown a lot. But yeah, I'll probably say Daniel Dubois at this point, but that's just because of experience.
yeah, good fight though.
Good
All
fight,
these
good
matches
fight.
mix it in eventually. Cream will rise to the top, but it all show vulnerabilities. I don't think they're at their peak to be fighting each other. If that makes sense, they should get to their peak, and then let's see.
I hear that. Just one thing I want to mention as well. My young G, who I sort of mentioned before in this pod, this Abdullah Mason kid. He's like 18, I think he is. He was on the card as well. He smoked his opponent again. Looked very impressive. Another one at the I think it's at 135 to look out for. He's young though. He's only 19. He's only 18, 19. So he's still got a lot to do. But he looks mighty impressive. And I already saw afterwards. They're liking him into a young pretty boy Floyd already. So they already start to put that pressure on him. He's another one to look out for the future, for sure. But yeah, all in all, that Martin fight was good. It was good. It was competitive in portions. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Great fight. Great scrap.
For sure. All right, Flowz. Next week, this upcoming week, our two favorite welterweight prospects are in action. Flowz, I swear they love putting these two on the same night or like a week apart from each other, just so the fans can start to salivating and comparing and contrasting and whatnot. Boots is in action. Virgil Ortiz is in action. Flowz. Who should we start with?
Start with Boots.
Boots Day. Cool. Our favorite boxer. Always got time to watch Boots, no matter who he's fighting. He's fighting the guy called Roman Villa. I think he's from Colombia. They're billing this Flowz as probably Boots' toughest opponent to date. Don't know how true that will prove to be, but from what I've seen of this Villa guy, he has a lot of power and he's very active. He's a bit of a brawler, pressure fighter, comes forward, etc., which could probably prove tailor-made for Boots. Someone, Boots is incredibly skilled. He can do it all. He can come forward. He can fight in the back foot easy, comfortably. But him on the back foot, counter punching, light work for him. So if this guy wants to bring the pressure to him, he'll probably get picked off. And if Boots just either decides to just enforce his power early and walk him down, he can fight on the front foot very easy as well. Boots can do whatever he wants. So, but yeah, they reckon this could be an exciting one because of just how them scrappy South American fighters. You know what they do. So it could be one of those. But I'm not too familiar with this guy's opponents in terms of who he's fought. Let me check. Let me check his. Let me check who he's actually.
Name rings a bell, Renee Villa.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him before as well.
Yeah.
26 wins, 24 KOs, only one loss. So he lost to, earlier in his career against Marcos Villasan. I don't know who that is. Yes. Of course it rings the bell, Flowz. He's the guy that beat Ellis, Speedy Ellis.
Ah,
it's him.
Yeah,
it's him. Of course, we watched that fight as well. How did that go over our head? Yeah. That's mad then, because if Speedy Ellis had won that fight, would they put him? Would they put him?
Remember? Yeah, they were talking.
Yes, it was.
We spoke about it. Yes, because they were beefing. They were going back and forth. Yeah. Okay.
Damn, Ellis, you lost your chance, dog. Damn.
We forgot about that one.
I mean, I still would have thought Boots would have beat Ellis anyway to buy it. But yeah, but that would have been a good fight for them to build up, innit? That's in because they both had it back and forth. Yeah, Ellis lost that fight. To be fair, like no complaints there. Yeah, this Villa guy, he's tough. He is tough. To be fair, I remember that. It's coming back to me that first. I remember that fight. He's tough.
He dropped him. Did he drop?
I think he dropped him. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it stopped? It was the DQ. Was it?
No. It was MD.
MD.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a close. As in, it was on the judge scorecards. It was close. I remember the scorecards were really close.
But he scored a knockdown, didn't he? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, I'll rewatch that fight before.
Yeah. So Ellis is the only name on the. I'm looking at his resume. Yeah, it's Ellis is the main one. So Yeah. Tough fight for Boots, I guess. But yeah, because we think so. I think so highly of Boots. I guess you do as well.
Yeah.
We expect Boots to come through this. But I guess it makes for an exciting fight. Him, and if he beats this guy up, yeah, sorry, bro. I showed you how it's done. You get me? But yeah, that's the guy he's fighting via.
Okay. Yeah, I expect Boots to handle
I'm
business.
looking for Boots to make another statement if he can. Yeah. Every I can't lie. I got the bar high for Boots in this. Every time I expect him to make a statement. So yeah, make a statement, Boots. Show me something, because obviously we know the belts are tied up right now. This is for the IBF interim world title. Which Boots I'm pretty sure has. Yeah, Boots has. So he's defending that title. Make a statement. Do what you usually have been doing. Then we know that the winner of Spence Crawford, well, the winner's probably going to move up if we keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Terrence has got I think there's a rematch clause in there as well. I'm pretty sure on Terrence's side.
Yeah. Both sides.
Both sides. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Both sides. So there probably could be a rematch there as well, even though I'd rather probably see a rematch at 154 personally. They're both, but yeah, eventually they're both going to move up. I don't think we're ever going to see Boots or Virgil against Crawford or Spence at 147.
Yeah.
The most chance of these two guys, these two monsters can get them at is at 154, which I'm fine with, I guess. I mean, I don't
think we'll ever see the fight.
Huh?
I don't think we'll ever see them man fight.
I mean, look. If one of them wants to stick around and say, you know what, I still want to campaign, well, fair play. But I know Spence is just after this. Once he's done with Crawford, he's gone. He's been itching to get to 154. Crawford might hang around a little bit, and if we can get cool, I'll love that. But I highly doubt it. Full stop. At 147, we have more of a chance of seeing Virgil and Boots getting it on at some point. So yeah.
I think that's more likely. I think anyway, Boots make a statement, beat this guy, show us again why you're the truth. Has he been, how active has he been? When was the last time Boots fought? Mad and active. I've been critical of him, haven't I?
Yeah.
About his activity.
But it's the PBC, it's the PBC lot. They're very yeah. So yeah, his last fight
end of last year. That was critical.
No, it was early this year. It was early this year. Yeah. It was, remember, it was the guy that he was.
I remember it.
Remember, the guy was running the whole fight basically. Boots.
Yeah.
I mean, he got criticized for the performance because he wasn't his best, but the guy wasn't really looking to engage. And Boots was a bit over eager to impress, I feel like. And he was trying to load up on the big shots. It wasn't his best performance, to be fair. But I understood why it wasn't his best. And then before that,
on the card of a fight. What card fight was it? It was an on card of a big fight.
Tank, pretty sure.
Yeah, it probably would have been.
I'm pretty sure it was Tank because it was in DC. I'm pretty sure it was Tank.
Yeah, there was. I remember there was more eyes on Boots then.
Because remember, Tank fought at the start of the year, just before he fought Ryan. So I think it was that one.
Okay. Yeah, Boots, do your thing. I think they're not going to get the Spence or Crawford fight, so it's going to be these ticking over fights to eventually him and Virgil Ortiz meet.
Or vacant belts probably.
Yeah, I think they could promote Boots a bit better, for sure. But he doesn't do interviews. Yeah, you don't see him much.
He's never like, as you said, Flowz, he's either in the gym or he's in church. So
or jogging. Yeah, jogging, sparring or in church. Great word today. Look, you don't see him at the fights. You don't bust downs or in the fights.
True.
You don't see enough of him. So I think he needs to do more to promote himself. We hear his name mentioned in interviews, but we don't see him giving
his dad. His dad talks more, as boxing dads do. But yeah.
So I think that's why they won't fight, because I don't think he's a draw, and I don't think he's a. These men are going to want cash fights. So just keep doing what you're doing. If it's boxing you after beating people, go out there and beat him, and then we'll see more of you in the future. Yeah.
Virgil Ortiz. So that's actually a pretty tough fight for Boots. I'll probably say Virgil Ortiz is even a tougher fight.
Yeah.
He's up against Elemantis Stanionis, Lithuanian guy who's been around for a bit now in PBC blocks, someone that's highly regarded over there in America. A few times I think he's been paid like step aside money or something, or I think he was mandatory for a title shot at one point, Stanionis, but I'm pretty sure they I swear he was mandatory for Spence at one point, but then I think that's when they got the Ugas fight on. I'm pretty sure for Unify.
Okay.
I thought it was. I think so. I might be. I feel like I remember reading that at some point. But he's been about, because remember he had one of the minor belts for time.
Yeah.
Either the
Yeah.
WBA.
I
Yeah, I
think
feel like
Virgil Ortiz did one as well, did he? Did Virgil... I forget the landscape. I know Boots has one.
yeah.
Stanionis had one. I'm sure Virgil Ortiz had one
Let me
because they
check
kept
which one
talking about
Stanionis has.
him v Crawford next. Virgil Ortiz. Remember when
Yep.
he's been calling out Crawford for a while, Virgil Ortiz.
Yep.
Well, he was when
Yep.
he was more active.
Yeah. Yeah. So Stanionis has had the regular belt, the WBA regular belt, since last year.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously, yeah, we know Spencer's got the WBA. So I feel like they'd ordered it before. They tried to order it, but then obviously I think then Spence obviously was able to agree unification with probably UGAS, I think it was, or something like that. But
Even, even before this Crawford fight was announced, when Crawford was meant to fight Avaneson,
yeah,
Spence was meant to fight Stanionis. That's what was been rumored.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah,
then there was fight after that. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think Spence was like, yeah, get me Crawford next. No one else.
Yeah, and obviously, yeah. Stanionis is good. Seen him fight a couple of times now. Like I said, they rate him in America. This is actually a really, really good fight on paper because obviously, yeah, Virgil's undefeated, Stanionis is undefeated, and obviously the winner of this is going to be in pole position as well to, be contending for one of these other guys' belts as well, if that ever happens or whenever they vacate. Yeah, Virgil Ortiz is, like I said, the other monster that we like to talk about in that division. Probably expecting him to come through this as well. It's gonna be another test for him. To be fair, Ortiz does test himself. His resume is good, I think.
Yeah.
Hooker's on there. What's his name? Mean Machine's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good resume. And if he
beat Mickinson last time out.
Yeah, Mickenson's actually decent as well. Yeah, good boxer. Yeah. And obviously, if he gets Stanionis on there, that's a really good resume. So again, I can't come and he stopped all his opponents as well. So if he stops Stanionis, it's another great record for him. So he's doing what we expect him to do as well, and what we ask him to do, making statements and winning and getting better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight as well. It's a shame they're both on the same day. We'll find a way to watch it, but yeah, man, it's another good fight. Same again as well, Flowz. Again, Ortiz, make a statement if you can against a top quality opponent.
Yeah, he has to. I think they need to keep making people believers. Concern for Ortiz is that he's been out with like illness, hasn't he? Or he's had illness or injury in the last few years. So
yes,
I think he had one before Mickinson fight, and but then I think he's had something since. But I don't expect. I'm expecting a full strength. I'm going to expect a full strength Ortiz, and I expect a performance, a statement.
Yeah,
get him out of there, and then people can't deny you anymore. People have to start believing. Both of them need to start making people believers.
For sure. Cool. Yeah, look forward to seeing those two in action. Another fighter that's worth mentioning, because I think we've mentioned it before. I'm pretty sure we put it on our list as well. Over at super middleweight, Diego Pacheco is fighting against, I think he's in Mexico, against a guy called Manuel Gallegos. Worth mentioning because like I said, Diego Pacheco is another young up and comer that's very exciting. Signed to Matchroom. Promising super middleweight contender. I think we like him a lot in this pod, Flowz. He should come through that. I'm sure he'll make a statement as well.
Yeah,
and yeah, well, sorry.
Yeah, I expect him to make a statement.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Just before we round up, Flowz, couple announcements that's been made. We got to talk about Canelo. Actually, yeah, in fact, I've got some things to say about this because obviously Canelo, it's been confirmed that he's fighting not Jermell, who most people thought. He's fighting Jermell, who is, as we know, listeners, the 154-pound undisputed champion. It's funny because I did see the rumors that it was Mel. I kept seeing people say, "Oh, Canelo Mel," and I'm there thinking, Flowz, that these people, they got the wrong twin. They mean Ma. And literally a couple hours later, it came out and was like, "Okay, right, it's Mel." I'm seeing this fight get a lot of stick because obviously Jermell is 2 weight classes below Canelo, and I think a lot of people felt that Canelo should be either fighting Jermell Charlo or David Benavidez, which is the one they really want to see. And I'm just here to say that people chill. Yes, we would rather him fight David Benavidez. But one, as we highlighted last week, Flowz, David Benavidez has re-signed on to fight someone else.
Yes.
So what can Canelo do? David Benavidez has already got a fight lined up, which was pre-lined up before even Canelo signed to BBC. The rumor was that they already signed to fight Morel or whatever. And then, the dad kept calling out Canelo. And the a week later, we find out, he signed to fight Morel. So that takes David Benavidez out of the equation. Bearing in mind that Canelo signed a free fight deal. So it's not like he's one and done in PBC. He's got plenty of time to fight Benavidez. Now it brings on to Jermell Charlo, who, as we said again last week, or not even last week, we've been saying that for years. This guy has not fought in 2 years. How do you expect? I feel like the vitriol will be deep if we see it's Mel, if it's Mal versus Canelo. People will say, "Oh, but Mal's been on the couch." Like you can't expect to throw Jermell to like that's deep. He hasn't fought for 2 years. He's gonna be hella ring rust. So to me, that
Canelo?
takes again. How do you go 2 years left against? So already that takes him out of the equation as well, Flowz. I can't lie. I'll be so real. He's out of the equation too. He needs to shake the ring rust off first before you have a tune-up fight before he even steps in the ring with Canelo. So yeah, I guess that's why to me they've landed on Mel, and I agree. Obviously, we know weight classes. I've been the most critical of this whole weight class thing, etc., on this pod. But I will say it's slightly different in this sense compared to, say, Triple G and Kell Brook, or Amir Khan versus Canelo, or what's it called? Eubank versus Ben. In the sense that, to be fair, Jermell Charlo is actually bigger than Canelo, naturally. That's actually fact.
Taller, longer reach.
Longer everything. I'm sure his walk-around weight is bigger than Canelo's natural walk-around weight. Canelo, it should be we've said it before, Canelo should be at 154 pounds. He actually should be at 154. He's just a freak. He's just a freak that punches above his weight and likes to challenge himself, and that's why he's at 168. He should never, ever be at 168. I'll be so real with you. He should never be there. He's just a monster.
Was crazy when he even went up to 168. That idea was who was at that weight? We thought we would just test the waters and run back down against Rocky Fielding. Yeah. He stayed there. He unified the whole division. Look, we've said this about Canelo. This is someone who's been at welterweight. He's campaigning at welterweight. He was fighting at a catch weight of 155 for ages rather than pushing on. And then he just decided to butt it and go crazy to 175. Push that boundary. So Jermell Charlo's always said he could beat Canelo. He's always said it. The fans have said it as well. Look, if Jermell's big enough for Canelo, so is Jermell.
Jermell's only a little bit smaller than Jermell. Like, obviously, Jermell is the bigger brother, yes, but it's not massively different. So
Jermell fought at 154, moved up because his brother.
Yes, and
Jermell could move up to 160.
Let's keep it back close. Jermell is pretty much on his way out of 160 anyways. Remember, all this talk about Jermell has been him versus David Benavidez. He's the one calling out David Benavidez. So really and truly, Jermell is already in that 168 mind frame. Mel always said about he plans to move up as well, because we know once Mal moves up, Mel will move up as well. So really and truly, I get it in terms of, yes, you're thinking, wow, 2 weight classes, but if you think about it stylistically, Mel isn't too dissimilar. In fact, he's bigger than Canelo, full stop. And I suspect that they will do this at a catch weight because of that. Most likely, it'll be a catch weight.
That's what I think as well. It might actually just be a 168. Who knows? But I think a catch weight makes sense.
Just to be fair to Mel, because he's never ever. I don't think he has an issue making 168. But from a fight perspective, it might make sense to just put it at a catch weight.
Yeah, and I think Canelo we said it. Canelo listens because I think Mar was probably on the table and he was like, "Nah, people are complaining about that one," and maybe Mar was like, "I'm not ready for that one." I said, "Okay, what next? Run me Mel, undisputed to be undisputed. Mel talks the most trash, talks more trash than Mark.
Facts. Mel was the
Mel
vocal
said
one.
that.
Yeah.
Mel's always said I can beat Canelo. I can beat him.
I can beat him.
He's been more active, undisputed, like we said. So
yeah. Look, it's a shame that, again, because I was pushing for the Tim Tszyu fight based on Tim Tszyu's recent performances. I know Tim Tszyu's been very patient because he was meant to have fought Mel at the start of the year. Sorry, Mel. And obviously injury to Mel, etc. He's been very, very patient. So that's probably going to be a kick in the teeth for him because he wants those undisputed belts. But this is a once in a lifetime. This is the Canelo lottery, right? Of course, Mel's going to grab this with both hands. Like, sorry, Tim. But that doesn't put their fight in jeopardy. Mel can come back down and then end up defending if he wants to, etc. And this doesn't put any Jermell or David Benavidez fights in jeopardy because Canelo signed a free fight deal. So as I said, what's going to happen? He will fight Mel. In the interim, Jermell will fight and, shake off some of that ring rust. And David Benavidez will also fight Morrell. Canelo will fight one of those two guys next. Benavidez or Jermell, and probably the third time as again will be one of them as well. So there's still the avenue to those guys, basically, regardless. So those fights I'm running away. You're on mute, by the way, Flowz.
I like the play by PBC. They're not giving Canelo everything to offer. They're gonna give they can give him 3 fights and they can look, we've got this other 3 for you. Look, they can do UV Mel, UV Mal, UV Benavidez, rematch clause, UV Spence, UV Demetrius.
Yep.
It's a good play by them. You don't just give them everyone. You give.
There's a few guys.
You don't just give them.
Yeah.
You give them. So you do 3 fights now, and they'll be like, okay, now we've got these ones because the PBC fans will rise up and say, why don't you fight this man? Why don't you do this?
Okay, yeah. They'll be like, okay, what about him? Yeah, what about him?
What about him? What about Demetrius? Yeah. While the rest don't really have anyone at the minute. Yeah, good play by PBC. Give him Mel now.
Sacrificial lamb. Nah, great fight. Look, Mel's
business.
It's just business, and he deserved it. To be fair, unified 154. Man, just be careful what you wish for, Mel. and don't forget, Spence is there too.
Yeah, exactly. So PBC has been celebrated. I'm saying, what's his name? What's
Espinosa.
His name? Steven Espinosa celebrating.
That guy's so fam. By the way, for 2 most annoying guys as well, by the way, Espinosa and Ellaby, they're both jarring. But I can imagine they're smug right now. Do you know why they're smug? Because they both hate Eddie. And they're thinking, we've snatched it from Eddie. That's why they're talking.
Look, Canelo will move around. Canelo was with Eddie before.
Yeah. He don't care.
He's not going to stay with you, man, forever. He'll move on at some point.
Yo, them man are happy that they don't get. Hearn had both golden gooses. He had AJ and Canelo.
Yeah.
And them man hate Hearn. So I know they're beaming into that. Them man are happy that Canelo's come to them. But don't think that he's there to stay. Cool. He's going to bust you a couple fights, but then he's going to move again. might be Bob Aaron's term next.
To be fair to them, they would. I think Eddie did say he doesn't think Showtime will be around, and look, they're here.
True.
And they're delivering.
It's all pay-per-view with Canelo.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. In fact, those pay-per-view numbers.
In fact, Flowz. Again, we said let's see who the real face of boxing is now, Javante, because let's see. They might even bump it back up to $100 because Canelo, Flowz, they will pay. They will pay for Canelo.
They will. Because the play they've been doing with Tank. Yeah. Tank be Mexican fighters. That play with Canelo is going to be Canelo be black fighters. Wait. What?
What do you say? What? Reverse racism?
Reverse play. Yo, they're going to charge you for that one. That was Mayweather's play. Mayweather loved the black fighting Mexican fight.
Oh, don't finish me.
Yeah.
That's a Canelo. Payback time. You versus all the African Americans. That's too funny. That's too funny. Man. That is hilarious.
You know, but the truth is, the face of boxing is Alicia Baumgartner. So, yeah. The true face of boxing. That video there went viral. Broke the internet, that video. That's the face of boxing.
Oh, shout out to Alicia, man.
Yeah.
Cool. There's one thing as well. Another announcement, Flowz. I don't know if you saw. I'm sure you saw. Joe Joyce, Zilly Zhang, been confirmed for the second one, 21st September. Yeah, that's locked in now. Apparently Joyce, he could have got a Fury fight, but he insisted on the rematch with Zhang. Good on him.
Yeah,
he's got exciting demons. And I say this, the same advice I gave to you the first fight, Joyce. You don't move your damn head, and if you don't move around, you're getting banged out again. Factual. So don't do the same thing, because we Flowz, we warned him before. We told him what not to do, and he did it. He went against us, and boom, got banged out of there. So it's gonna be the same thing again if it happens. Yeah, I fight it's gonna be hilarious, bro. Because Zhang won't change.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Joyce has to change.
Yeah, good fight. I'm happy they made it happen. Run it back. Let's see who comes out on top. If
Joyce loses, though, boy, that's a massive dent, boy. Massive dent. But yeah, look forward to that. Oh, but yeah, Flowz, let's wrap it up there. Very enjoyable episode. Yeah, man, episode 149 of SZN Podcast. Once again, I'll be your boy Cam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, keep liking up, running streams. Peace.
You get a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.